$2 billion was committed to quantum companies just last week. And I'd like to, in this video, go into all 9 of those companies and what the implications could be for each company. Crucially, these are letters of intent and not yet finalized award agreements. The 9 Department of Commerce NIST CHIPS Research and Development Office letters of intent announced on May 21st, 2026 totaled $2.013 billion in proposed federal incentives for 2 quantum foundries and 7 quantum computing companies. The department also said it would take a minority, non-controlling equity stake in each company, which makes these actions unusually close to direct investment rather than ordinary grants. For quantum investment, the signal is larger than the cash alone. The government did not allocate capital primarily to headline qubit count stories. It allocated capital to industrial bottlenecks like wafers, cryogenic CMOS, photonics, detectors, packaging, interconnects, control electronics, and manufacturing throughput. That shifts the core thesis of quantum investing from scientific optionality to state-backed industrialization of the hardware stack. The practical implication is that the highest conviction near-term investable layer is no longer just pure play quantum hardware vendors. It's the combination of foundry manufacturing enablers and hardware companies whose modality-specific scaling problems match the government's stated priorities. Those companies are GlobalFoundries, IBM, Atom Computing, Diraq, D-Wave, Infleqtion, PsiQuantum, Quantinuum, and Rigetti. Notably, there are both public and private companies in the selections. Because all 9 were announced on the same day, most recent should be read as the same day cohort. GlobalFoundries has $375 million in funding planned and a 1% equity ownership. The US Quantum Foundry builds out cryo, CMOS, and advanced packaging multimodality QPUs. GlobalFoundries trades under the NASDAQ ticker symbol GFS. They've launched their quantum technology solutions to scale US quantum manufacturing. They make smart mobile devices, home and industrial, IoT, automotive, communication, infrastructure, and data center. GlobalFoundries is a leading manufacturer of essential semiconductors that power the technologies the world relies on to live, work, and connect. Next, we have IBM with $1 billion planned. And this one was pretty interesting because IBM also did a $1 billion match to build out their wafer foundry. The IBM and US Department of Commerce announced America's first purpose-built quantum foundry supported by a proposed $1 billion CHIPS award. In addition to the $1 billion in CHIPS incentive provided by the DOC, IBM will contribute $1 billion of cash into Anduril, along with IBM investing significant intellectual property assets and a skilled workforce, with additional investors expected as Anduril grows. IBM, as far as I know, is also the only company that matched the contribution from the government and put $1 billion towards this new foundry at Anduril. The Department of Commerce incentive strengthens and accelerates U.S. quantum leadership and technology resilience. Quantum computing has significant implications for national defense, advanced materials, and biopharmaceutical discovery, financial modeling, and energy systems. IBM has one of the strongest quantum roadmaps in all of technology. They want to diversify quantum advantage and entangle fault-tolerant modules. The performance of Nighthawk will improve to allow circuits with up to 15,000 gates on up to 1,080 qubits, and by 2030, they want to build the first fault-tolerant quantum computer, Starling, which will be available in 2029 with 200 qubits running 100 million gates. They're also the only company that I'm aware of that's saying in 2026, they want to use IBM quantum hardware to demonstrate the first examples of quantum advantage. Our Nighthawk processor will run circuits with 7,500 gates and up to 3 120 qubit modules. So IBM is a consistent winner in the quantum space. They're a leader in this space, and they're a behemoth. They're a company that's well-resourced, but also has a rock-solid quantum program. Atom Computing has earned $100 million in planned funding. Atom Computing boasts 1,200 fully connected qubits. Their flagship AC1000 system comes with highly competitive fidelities, 1,200 physical qubits, all-to-all qubit connectivity, and advanced technical capabilities such as mid-circuit measurement with qubit reuse and reset and real-time conditional branching. Atom Computing is a privately held company. The company Diraq received $38 million. And this is a silicon-based quantum computing company. Diraq silicon technology is designed to be integrated into standard data centers. It runs a single quantum chip packaged together with classical electronics that operate at cryogenic temperatures, connected to supporting electronics at room temperature. The funding is likely to go towards Diraq's silicon spin processor scale-up, foundry production, their cryo-CMOS integration, and domestic packaging and cryostat chain. Diraq is building quantum computers based on modified silicon transistors, the technology best suited to achieve utility scale when value for outweighs cost. Diraq is a privately held company. D-Wave Quantum and the Department of Commerce have signed a letter of intent for $100 million in CHIPS and Science Act funding to accelerate U.S. leadership in quantum computing. The intent of this investment is for annealing scale-up gate model roadmap and to help accelerate their build of the Boca Raton and R&D facility. We believe the U.S. government's strategic investment in D-Wave would advance the country's global leadership position in quantum computing. The award accelerates D-Wave's ability to scale quantum innovation domestically, expedite key fabrication processes, and deliver real-world quantum applications to our global customers today. D-Wave is a publicly traded company that trades under the ticker QBTS. D-Wave specializes in annealing machines, the world leader in annealing. Annealing is a specific type of quantum effect that is especially good at optimization problems. Quantum Circuits Inc. gives D-Wave a gate model superconducting play as well as their annealing product offerings. Infleqtion has signed a letter of intent with the U.S. Department of Commerce for $100 million to accelerate U.S. leadership in quantum computing. They will advance domestic quantum manufacturing, supply chain, and workforce capabilities needed to support the next generation of computing technologies, support a milestone-based program designed to accelerate Infleqtion's neutral atom technology roadmap. Infleqtion's quantum technologies are already supporting operational programs across national security, energy, and scientific research, including DARPA, the U.S. Department of Energy, NASA, and the U.S. Department of War. Infleqtion is a public company that trades under the ticker symbol INFQ. PsiQuantum has signed a letter of intent for $100 million with the U.S. Department of Commerce. The new award will strengthen critical technology supply chains for America. The focus of this cash infusion will be for BTO optical switches, high-temp single photon detectors, advanced photonic packaging, and domestic supply chain scaling. Strong technology supply chains are essential for American security and prosperity, said Victor Peng, Interim Chief Executive Officer of PsiQuantum. PsiQuantum's world-leading capabilities in photonics will help write the next chapter in the history of computing. PsiQuantum is a private company. Quantinuum received $100 million and has entered into a letter of intent with the U.S. Department of Commerce for funding opportunity to accelerate U.S. leadership in quantum computing. The letter of intent from the U.S. Department of Commerce proposes to provide R&D funding for Quantinuum to address specific technology bottlenecks in the development of fault-tolerant trapped ion quantum computers. Quantinuum expects to partner with leading onshore semiconductor manufacturers and photonics technology suppliers to strengthen U.S. semiconductor supply chain and manufacturing capabilities. With today's chip research and development investments in quantum computing, the Trump administration is leading the world into a new era of American innovation. These strategic quantum technology investments will build on our domestic industry, creating thousands of high-paying American jobs while advancing American quantum capabilities. Rigetti Computing has received $100 million. Rigetti announces that it has signed a letter of intent with the U.S. Department of Commerce for an award of up to $100 million to accelerate R&D projects, addressing key technical challenges in scaling and advancing superconducting quantum computers. Quantum computing will have far-reaching impacts on our nation's national security, economic interests, and overall prosperity. We are honored that the U.S. government is seeking to partner with Rigetti to accelerate the pace of quantum computing commercialization and to bolster U.S. leadership in this revolutionary field. This investment will allow us to tackle key scaling bottlenecks more rapidly and get us closer to utility-scale quantum computing, says. So now we've taken a look at all 9 companies receiving awards from the US government. And one thing that's pretty clear is that in each one of these LOIs, we're seeing that each company has specific bottlenecks that the US government, they want to accelerate the progress of the company. So they want to basically throw some cash at the problem and see if these companies can overcome some of their nagging bottlenecks. The IBM deal is specifically interesting because they've announced $1 billion in planned funding. This other $1 billion of IBM's own pledged cash to create Andron a standalone company. IBM is also not a pure play quantum company, as it's a diversified company using federal capital to externalize, industrialize, and scale wafer fabrication in the broader US ecosystem. But this is still one of the most significant actions in the cohort because it targets the wafer manufacturing process at the 300 nanometer scale. For D-Wave, the Commerce announced the $100 million and says it's the only dual platform quantum computing company with annealing and gate model systems, and that is already offering enterprise grade systems on premises and through its Leap cloud service to more than 100 organizations. This is one of the few awards with a very explicit bridge from a funding to a commercial product. D-Wave is saying the money would accelerate development toward a 100,000 qubit annealing system and a 10,000 qubit gate model system, with work tied to its Boca Raton R&D site plus New Haven and Burnaby R&D centers. For Infleqtion, publicly traded neutral atom player, they report in the LOI 1,600 physical qubits, 99.73% entangling fidelity, and a roadmap targeting 30 logical qubits in 2026, while also noting ongoing work with DARPA, DOE, NASA, and NVIDIA. The company says the program is meant to accelerate hardware, photonics, full stack development, workforce, software, and infrastructure across the US operation. For PsiQuantum is likely to use the funding for more near-term domestic manufacturability, barium titanate optical switching materials, high-temperature single photon detectors, and advanced packaging chip-to-fiber coupling. Quantinuum says the LOI is designed to address specific technology bottlenecks and explicitly names GlobalFoundries for semiconductor components and Monarch Quantum for integrated photonics. Near-term use cases should therefore include qualifications of low-loss photonics and optical components at trapped ion-relevant wavelengths. Rigetti will likely use the fund specifically for readout electronics miniaturization and next-gen cryostat architectures. While Rigetti said the money would help attack the key scaling bottlenecks, short-term use cases include accelerating the 150 qubit roadmap, expanding Novera and Cepheus deployments to labs and quantum centers, and improving superconducting readout. When we step back and we look at this investment and where the money is intended to go, we need to look not just at the fact that the government is spending money on quantum companies, but how they intend for the money to be used. So the US government did not distribute capital evenly across all of quantum. It concentrated funding on the supply chain and engineering choke that stand between today's prototypes and tomorrow's industrial systems. The second change is commercialization timing. These LOIs do not mean that broad quantum revenue is coming in the next 6 to 12 months. They do mean that a set of 6 to 18-month engineering milestones have become materially more achievable. Foundry build-out, process qualification, logical qubit test beds, larger commercial systems, component localization, and domestic supply chain hardening. That narrows engineering risk for selected names, even while it leaves true fault-tolerant, high-throughput commercial compute economics, mostly a later decade event. The third change is risk profile. Technology risk modestly declines for selected companies because the government is paying for exactly the expensive, non-glamorous work private capital often underfunds. But policy and execution risk rise. These are milestone-based or proposed awards, and several companies explicitly say definitive award documents are still required, and the government's equity position introduces dilution and governance considerations that public market investors must now model. The fourth change is valuation signaling. For mega-cap beneficiaries like IBM and GlobalFoundries, it's not too financially relevant because IBM's already a $241 billion company and GlobalFoundries is a $50 billion company. But take companies like D-Wave and Rigetti that are $10 or $9 billion companies, and the cash is not necessarily transformative on its own, but the signal is much larger because now it can lower future financing friction and raise the odds of strategic partnerships. If someone works with Rigetti now, they're working with the US government. If someone works with D-Wave, they're working with the US government. So we got some incredible news in the quantum sector. we've seen that all of these companies have received letters of intent, and in each letter of intent, the US government is working with each company to reduce bottlenecks and really get quantum computing moving as fast as possible. They want to eliminate choke points, eliminate bottlenecks, and this is a very strategic investment across the public and private sector of quantum computing. This is a historic point in technology and progress that we are seeing, and this is a massive signal that the US government believes that quantum computing is here to stay and they want to own a piece of that land. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this. We'll see you in the next one.